What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to review chapter 160 of the 7 Deadly Sins. I would have had this video up yesterday. It was going to be a little bit later in the day, but me and my friends went somewhere, and what ended up happening is we're there, and my one who was driving locked his keys in the car. That happened. So we spent like 2 hours trying to get him out. My other friend, who just looks like a straight-up thug car thief, like dark beanie, dark pants, dark shirt, has like his laptop bag around his waist, fucking black gloves. It was hilarious. The whole situation was not hilarious though, because it took a couple hours to get the fucking door pulled enough and, you know, just the right gap between it to stick this pole in and hit the lock, and it was all fucked up. And then we did other stuff that day and I didn't have time, but yeah, you're not here for that, you're here for the review, but I thought that was kind of an interesting story. Anyways, this chapter of the 7 Deadly Sins, not much to say on this one. That's kind of why I told that story. It's basically Meliodas and Bon, they decide, you know what, fuck these walls, we're gonna just hit them as hard as we can to where they can't regenerate, hit them so fast they can't regenerate, and we're just gonna walk through. And that turns out to blow out a second wall and lead them to the goal, which is pretty much the saving grace of the chapter in terms of story progression from an objective standpoint. Not a lot happens in this one. They blow through the wall. Meliodas gives Arthur some words of wisdom, I suppose, and then we see the competition, and that's pretty much the whole fucking chapter. Oh, and we find out that King and Elaine and Jericho are all together. So, yeah, there's that. I guess that chapter cover was legit. Like, that wasn't just a random chapter cover. That was probably, like, a scene that was taking place simultaneously with everything else that's going on. Last chapter, or a couple chapters ago, I'm not sure. But anyway, and he's like, yeah, they're defending Elaine. I'm like, Elaine was pretty fucking tough earlier. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're obviously probably stronger, I guess, but Elaine was pretty fucking tough earlier, not gonna lie. So, I don't know, maybe she's not as strong now that she's not filled with hate. I don't know, but, she did some damage before. It wasn't, like, too catastrophic, but I think she beat Jericho up a little bit. I'm not sure. But, anyways, regardless, nitpicking. Yeah, they blow through the wall. We see Mommy Matrona. That was cool. See her back finally. She made it to the goal. That was a good way to bring her back in, and she just made it there already. I think we saw Hendrickson and the dude from Dawn Roar. I forget his name. Was it Dawn Roar, that big group? He's like the dude with the mask. I think we saw those 3 Scarecrow-looking dudes and a couple other dudes off in the distance. Can't really tell who they are. I'm assuming all the dudes that we saw in those, like, big Earth Ground Gator that chapter. I'm sure all those guys are going to be there. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole chapter. They bust through the wall, looked really badass. It was a really badass and enjoyable chapter. You know, good dialogue and good story progression and all that. Just, you know, everything else was kind of non-existent. It's kind of like a chapter where you're doing the anime version and it's like the last 5 minutes of the episode, maybe even shorter. But no, I'd probably say the last 5 minutes of the episode. Yeah, I think it probably, because it is really not a lot going on. Like, if this was like One Piece where they do one chapter at a time, it'd be impossible. But, you know, Oda packs his chapters with a lot of content. The chapters Oda puts out helps One Piece with that, but for something like this, you'd never be able to do that. So it is a very skim chapter that doesn't have a lot going on, but it still had those badass moments. I mean, entertainment-wise, it was like an 8 out of 10. Objectively, I'd probably give it like a 7. It was an okay chapter. Kind of just mix those two, make a 7.5, pretty standard rating, but it was a good chapter, and nothing too special about it, but the progression was really good. We're getting into the tournament. It'd be nice if King was there, but of course we got to keep the Sins, and, you know, Escanor's off separated somewhere else. It's nighttime, so he's useless anyway, but just can't see them together yet, of course. Can't see King and Diane reunite yet, of course. Got to keep that stupid storyline going. Whatever. But those are more nitpicks. Those aren't, like, big problems with the chapter. They're just kind of problems with the arc overall. This whole, like, not even the arc, but just this storyline with Diane and the memories and all that bullshit with King. But anyways, that's the chapter. Give it a 7.5. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of this chapter, the 7 Deadly Sins, in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram. That would help me out a lot. Also, add me on PSN. I'm Petplatypus on both. Give this video a thumbs up. That would also help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.